All right, good morning, guys. This should be the first part in a month-long series of lessons that I've pre-made for my time while I'm gone down in Louisiana. So if we time this, match this up correctly, you guys should have just done a do now over what is principal and interest. So when we're talking about principal and interest, we're usually referring to some sort of loan or debt. So for example, when I go to the bank and say, hey, I'd like a loan for $10,000 for whatever, the bank goes, okay, here's $10,000, and you're going to pay us back a little bit of extra in exchange for us lending you the money. And so the $10,000 that I'm asking the bank for and they give me, that would be the principal amount. That's how much they loan me. That is the principal. It's what it's called. And then the word interest is the money that I'm essentially paying them extra in order to borrow their money. So I say, hey, I'd like a loan for $10,000, and they say, okay, Mr. Warren, we'll give you the $10,000, but you'll pay us an extra $2,000 in interest, a little $2,000 extra in exchange for this. And I go, okay, cool. So I pay him back the $10,000 plus an extra $2,000, and so there we have our principal amount, the $10,000, and the interest amount, which would be the $2,000. Any questions? Well, I'm guessing by all the blank expressions and non-sounds in this room that there aren't. So if you guys have any questions or issues about that or anything else in the future, shoot me an email. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So we have about six, seven terms covered today. It shouldn't take too long. Hopefully it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Like I said, if you have any questions, shoot me an email, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can. So, first term we're going to cover today, something called liquidity, and that is not how you spell it. There we go, liquidity. L-I-Q-U-I-D-I-T-Y. So this is a pretty simple definition. It's just how easy something is to turn into cash. No, I'm not talking about a magic trick. I'm not talking about alchemy. How easy something is to turn into cash. Essentially, how easy it is to sell it and get cash money for it. So, if I said, for instance, hey, Matt, I need some cash quick. I'll sell you my watch for $50. And so, if I can easily sell my watch to Matt for $50, and then that would be considered very liquid. It's very liquid. It means it's very easy to turn into cash. The less liquid it is, or if it's not very liquid, that means it is harder to turn into cash. Examples of these would include things like homes, cars, things with not only money behind it, but also paperwork to have to deal with. So, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. All right, moving on, next term. Next we have a checking account. So I think a couple of you guys have brought this up in the past. You guys have asked me, what's the difference between this, what's the difference between that, savings account, debit card, all that fun stuff. Well, hopefully I'll answer most of you guys' questions today. There we go. Before we can go blank for a minute. So, a checking account. Bank account, whereas a customer can easily access their money that was previously deposited. And so, if you guys have talked to me before in the past about this, I've told you, a checking account is nothing more than just essentially an extension of my wallet. I don't have any more money in my checking account than I go and tell the bank to put into it. So, for example, if I have, say, $100 in my wallet, I go to the bank and say, hey, I'd like to deposit $100 into my checking account. then okay, it's sitting there, it's not on me, but now I can access it whenever I want through the use of a debit card. We'll cover what that is here in just a few minutes. But once again, all a checking account is just to hold my money so I don't have to carry it on me at all times. It's a safe place to put my money, and so I know it's safe and it's accessible as much as I possibly can use it. Now this is different from what a savings account. So just kind of like the name implies, this is meant for saving or more long-term type deposits. It's not meant for money I intend to get out and withdraw from every single day. So a bank account that earns interest on deposited money Now, the small drawback to this is not as easily accessible. That's terribly written. Accessible as money deposited into a checking account. So when I say it's not as easily accessible, if any of you guys have had savings accounts in the past, there are a couple of requirements to getting it. One of them is usually maintaining a minimum balance. So it's different from bank to bank. But let's just say for the sake of argument, they say, okay, you have to maintain a minimum balance of $50 in that account at all times. That means no matter how much money you take from it and put back in it, $50 has to remain in that account at all times. And usually there are withdrawal limits per month. So some banks say, hey, you can only take money out twice a week or 4 times a month or things like that. Now the whole reason behind this is in a savings account, you're essentially giving the bank a loan. Because when I put money in my savings account, they're taking that money and using it to loan out to their other customers. They use that for when they say, hey, I'd like to come get a car loan. Hey, I'd like to come get a home loan. They're using that money to loan out to their customers. And because they're using your money, you are agreeing that they can use your money. They're going to pay you a small amount of interest every so often. Now, because this is so easy to do and the risk is very low, the amount of interest is extremely low. So if I say have $1,000 in my savings account, I might see a nickel in interest every month or so. It's really not something to make a whole lot of money off of. So, liquidity, checking account, savings account. Next up, term is debit card. And that's always an interesting one because I always have students come up and ask me what's the difference between this and a credit card. Well, today we're about to find out. I think you guys can see these well. All right, so debit card. A plastic payment card that electronically transfers previously deposited money